Hey everyone, welcome to Season 1, Episode 16 of the Film Bros Championship Podcast. I am Tim, with me is my co-host Patrick. How you doing, buddy?
Hammer! Hammer is God! Hammer!
Oh, man.
This movie, Tim.
I'm already fearful that you enjoyed this movie a lot more than me.
I did!
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It is so bad it's good. It is so funny.
It is nuts. It is an insane freaking movie.
I love the Italians. They're the best.
Oh,
Italians
my gosh.
and South Koreans. They know how to do it.
I guess. I'm not so sure, man. There is a lot of troubling things in this movie.
I'm done with you. We're no longer related.
You're done. I mean, just
Disowned.
the names of all the characters alone is insane. It is very troubling just on that alone.
It's only a problem when they say them out loud.
And they say them out loud quite a bit. And sometimes they even make jokes about their own characters' names. Like, they admit almost in dialogue by making fun of each other how dumb each other's names are, but they say it so seriously, which is crazy.
I love this movie. It is so much fun.
My God. It is fun, I guess, in literally a Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of way, which is they did an episode on the sequel with it, so it makes sense.
I think they did a riff tracks about this movie. But that's what I said. It's so bad it's good. I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, some of it's obviously intentional in that tongue-in-cheek Italian way, but it's really...
It's so dumb.
It's so funny.
All right, so I guess this is my pick.
Yeah, explain yourself.
Oh gosh. We're in 1990, so we're in the future.
By the way, I don't think it's ever mentioned in the movie that it is 1990. It is only on the poster.
Yeah. Which I think is that just the American version? Because I feel like I saw a couple of things that had like slightly different variations of the title, which I guess happens sometimes when, movies cross to different states. But
right.
Woo. Yeah. So really, the only way you could tell anything is kind of futuristic is by the way the police dress in this movie. But that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, we'll get to them later.
Yeah. So anyway, we're in the post-apocalyptic type future, I guess. It's not really post-apocalyptic. So basically, crime has gotten so bad they've contained it to the Bronx. And the Bronx has become no man's land.
Which is only explained by, like, subtitles in the beginning of the movie. Not subtitles, like text or whatever. It's saying, like, the people have just given up on the Bronx. The cops don't even go there anymore. And the gangs control everything.
Yeah, I think there was a line about it, too. Like, we can't go in there. It's a no man's land. I think there was something like that, too.
Yeah. They mentioned no man's land a lot.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people there.
So, clearly, I don't think they could clear certain streets, so things just kind of looked normal.
And this movie's extra funny for us, Tim, since we grew up in Westchester, New York, and our dad is from the Bronx, and we made regular trips to the Bronx, like, at least once a month for many years. So it's just like, really? Okay.
Yeah, they must have found like the one block that was really not looking good.
The South Bronx in the early 80s was not a pretty place. But like when we got there, it's the early 90s. And it's like, this is lovely. I like this place.
Pelham Parkway and all that.
Yeah.
For sure. And anyway, we have a young woman who is on the run and decides to go willingly into the Bronx, into no man's land to seek refuge. And she is found and discovered by a motorcycle gang that is one of the gangs controlling the Bronx. And they decide to take her in and protect her. And then the people she is fleeing from is determined to get her back. And there's the basic premise of the movie.
Tim, that is the best plot description you've done so far for any of these. It was very succinct.
I'm getting better every time, I think.
Yeah, no, it's great. Now we can just go into discussing everything.
Yes, because we have to get right into this.
Yes.
And we're going to start off with Hero. And we got to talk about your man, Trash. Because people... That is his name.
Yeah, Trash.
His name is Trash, And yes, we do have our man Fred Williamson making a joke. He does make a nice joke making fun of the man's name.
Yeah. Yes. Trash is our hero. He's a leader of the Writers. And the first time we see Trash and the Writers, we see this glowing skull for a flashlight.
Yeah, they all have them.
Yeah. When it looks cool on the wall, but when you see it, when you actually see it, it's like, oh, this is just like a glowing skull on the front of their motorcycle. This would not actually work.
It looks like they should have just... Yeah, it looks like they should have also just added playing cards or baseball player cards to the spokes on their bicycles too. You know what I mean?
They're motorcycles.
I know. I'm making a joke. I'm just saying that's how ridiculous it looks that they should.
Yeah, no, it is a glowing skull, and like, wait, there's no projection. You got to cover the top of that if you want to shoot out. That won't work. So it's like it's bullshit. But it's ridiculous. Still, immediately I'm laughing though, and I'm like, cool, great. So because this is an Italian movie, they legally have to dub everybody.
It's upsetting because I would have liked to hear certain people for real, like Fred Williamson, and to hear the dub was just a bummer.
Well, Fred Williamson did his own dubbing, thankfully.
It's just not great.
You know, I think what was rough for you is you watched the YouTube version, and I found out that there was an Amazon Prime version, which was much synced a lot better. Because I started watching the YouTube version, and I was like, oh, no. I can't do this. Yeah. I'd rather pay to watch something better than this.
I have several comments of, wow, the quality is really bad.
Yeah, no, it's not that bad on the Amazon Prime version. It's all synced up. I mean, it's still obviously dubbing, but
too visually, I don't know if you caught this. It was really choppy. Like the picture just seemed choppy. So I wasn't sure if that's.
I think that's the YouTube quality, buddy. I'm sorry.
It might also have added to why I didn't enjoy this movie as much because the quality was so shitty.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. It's fine, I guess. But I say that way too much. I've just realized, I guess. So anyway, Trash is part of this motorcycle gang, and they control a section of the Bronx, and he has this motley crew, and they're all significantly older than him.
Do you know how old the actor is playing Trash, by the way?
21.
Nope.
Okay,
17.
how old is he? Oh, my God.
This is the first movie he ever did. I think he only did like 2 more movies, and then disappeared.
Okay, that makes sense. He has the weirdest walk.
Yes, he does.
Like, it is. He almost walks like Michael Keaton Batman.
No, it's not far off. It's like he's been riding on a horse all day, so he's sort of bow-legged, but he has this like metal plate in his back or something where he has to remain totally straight and kind of pushed out.
Yeah,
he's
like
pushing
puff
out
his chest out.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And he doesn't turn his neck very much either. It's just kind of it's weird.
The Hell's Angels were, I think, extras, and
yeah. By the way, hold on. I think you need to give more specifics on that and how insane that is.
Well, that's all I know about it is that they were extras, and I think
they got the actual Hell's Angels.
There's a thing back in the day. What can I tell you? But they got them to do protection for the movie, I think, on top of being extras, and they were all making fun of this guy. It's like, what the fuck is this? Who does that?
He's the most absurd.
But it's a 17-year-old kid. He looks almost like a greasier version of like Matt Dillon's character in Singles.
Oh, wow.
Like, I can't...
I mean, as soon as you started saying Matt Dillon, I thought he should be in part of The Outsiders.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a bit accurate, I guess. And he is in this most ridiculous outfit, and he's in that outfit the entire movie.
Disagree. I don't think he's in the most ridiculous outfit.
Oh, no, no, it's a pretty ridiculous outfit, but yeah, you're right. There are more ridiculous
just a leather vest
outfits.
and no shirt. I mean, it's fine compared to the guys in all the Nazi regalia.
Yeah, what was up with the Nazi stuff?
I don't know. These are the good guys.
Apparently, I have that too. Like, are we sure these are the good guys? Because we see multiple Nazi symbols. We'll talk about him later, but there's Ice, and he's in a full-on Nazi jacket, and then there's another one of the bikers that has, I forget, is it a Nazi helmet or something?
Yeah, swastikas all over the place.
Yeah, and then they have a Confederate flag in Trash's room.
Trash is using a Confederate flag as a blanket.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
What the hell? Yeah.
It's like, I'm looking around like, I don't think there are any black members of this gang.
Well, although I think the
there
one
was
guy,
one, but
I think the one dude, there was one dude that had the Nazi, so the swastika on his helmet, and I think that guy was a black guy. So, which is even weirder, you know? So,
I see a swastika, and that's where my eyes go. I can't even see the person anymore. I'm like, Nazi.
For sure.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I also like to really mention, too, the guy they got to dub, because the guy playing Trash is an Italian man, or child. He's 17. So that, of course, is not his voice that we're hearing in the movie. But whoever got there does he's a terrible actor, too, but
yeah,
excellent on the Bronx accent. No, not excellent. Pretty good on the Bronx accent. It slips in and out, but it's
okay.
I was impressed that they even tried.
Let's see, 1, 2. No, that is 1, 2, 3. My third note of this movie in the hero category is he has an interesting walk.
No, it's really noticeable real fast.
Yeah,
and he's like always like sticking out his chin too, like while he's doing it.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
He's able to give a tear once in a while, somewhat convincingly. I
disagree.
Give him that.
I think that was clearly planted.
You think so?
Yeah, because they cut away and then he looks his face up and there's the tears and just there's no tears there,
right.
Just water tracing down. Yeah, but all the people in this gang look like they're in their 40s, and it probably doesn't help that the lead is 17 years old. But I checked, Ice is only like 29, and I'm like, the hell you say?
Oh, he looked much older.
That man looks like he has 4 kids and 401k.
I tried to look into it. Apparently, he was like a doctor, and he did a lot of non-for-profit work and things. And
really?
As a side gig to make some money, he did some acting.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, so when I read up on that, I was like, yeah, I feel like feeling like you look like an old man and you should be a doctor makes more sense watching this movie. Like, it's so out of place.
Yeah.
Troubling, though.
So one of my favorite bits in this movie is the writers burn their dead.
Yeah, like a kind of a Viking type thing going on.
Yeah, well, they're big into the Nazis. And Aryans, man, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when they burn their dead, they grab their ashes, each of them, and they drive off to the river. And they all take turns throwing the ashes into the river, but when they're shooting
it's
this
windy
scene,
and you're by a river.
It's windy, like you said, and almost every single person ends up just getting the ashes into the person to their right and just blows in their faces.
It would have been a great a comedy bit if it was like a slapstick movie.
What's
people
great
be
too,
like, oh.
They clearly just did this one try and they gave up because as it's going on, because they start off on one end and all the way to the right, and they move the camera left going through.
They have to show each one.
Yeah, and the guys at the very end, are throwing extra hard to make sure they don't get it. It doesn't work.
I'm pretty sure none of any of those ashes make it into the water.
No, they're way too far away from the water.
Yeah.
It is really unintentionally hilarious.
It's not great. Yeah. When do we talk about the first, what category, I guess, the meeting that takes place between the writers and the Tigers?
We can talk about it now if you want to talk about it. I don't know.
Okay, you don't have notes on that?
Well, I have stuff I want to talk about for Fred Williamson later, but
oh no, I don't have anything to do with Fred Williamson on my note here.
Go on. Oh, I guess the drummer, but yeah.
Yes. What? I guess. What?
I had this in miscellaneous later on. So
my God, Patrick, this is the most insane thing. That's the first time in the whole movie. That's the first point where I go, what the hell is happening right now?
So this drummer apparently was just there when they were going to film there, because 50% of this movie is filmed on location in the Bronx, and the other half is filmed. All the interiors are filmed in Rome. So this is in the Bronx, and there's just this band there, and the drummer was there drumming. Yeah, and they decided not to move him.
Just keep on playing.
Yeah, they just filmed it,
and it's just super weird because you have this it's supposed to be this intense scene where they find one of their riders dead with a spike through him or whatever right there towards the water, and so this meeting is supposed to happen, I guess, And during this entire thing, this dude's just drumming away, and it's just still drumming like, and nothing. They don't even mention it. It's just there. It just happens to be there. That's it.
Yeah,
and it's nuts.
It's weird.
It's super weird. Nobody comments. Nothing. Scram. We don't know this person. Nothing.
But he's in the movie.
Yeah.
Screw it. He's in the movie.
Sure. You seem cool. Keep playing.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. That one really like threw me a lot. Oh my gosh.
The other bit for I love for Trash, he finds his guy strung up later on, stabbed and broken by a different gang called the Scavengers.
Oh, yeah. That guy, by the way, his voiceover was something else. Like that one really didn't fit.
So like, which is this is actually it's kind of cool, but at the same time hilarious. Which is the only way that because it's so bad. It's the only way the Italians know how to do it in this movie. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
but
in this movie.
He tells Trash about Ice, his second in command, double crossing him, and that he can't deal with the pain. Now he's really messed up. He's got multiple stab wounds, a broken arm, and
it's like pikes through him and stuff. This seems to be a move of that gang.
Yeah,
which I can't remember. The Scavengers.
So he tells him all that, and he cries and tells him I can't deal with the pain. So Trash tenderly brings him to his chest. We see it. We don't see his face for a second. We look, then he looks up, and then there's tears. Clearly, they were painted on, and then he snaps the guy's neck.
Yep.
Whoa! Okay.
Aggressively, just boom,
boom.
Just wow. Like we couldn't have. You had nothing else on you. What happened to your little? I guess he lost his little pike stick thing that seems to be one of his favorite weapons.
That's the gang's go-to weapons. Their signature weapon, Tim.
Jeez, I mean, he has the little spike on his elbow. You could have sliced something open that way. I don't know, like why we
not as quick
snapping the neck. I guess it's quick.
Yeah, it's quick. We wanted to get him out of his misery.
It was a bit aggressive,
like a horse with a broken leg.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know. Manhattan's right over there. We could probably get him to a hospital. It just doesn't look like he's gonna die. So Trash, like I said, he has some really beautiful lines.
Oh God, sure.
So
if you want to call it that,
the first one is a lot of it all comes from this scene where he's on the beach with Anne, where she's trying to tell him why she's running away and everything is her fault. And
because 2 people died.
Yeah,
but she keeps like multiple times like all these people are dying. Like
it's only gonna get worse. They're gonna keep coming for me. Yeah. And Trash stopped blaming herself. The Bronx is no man's land, where worse things happen by themselves.
Yeah. It's an insane little speech on death.
I got it right here.
Yeah. Oh, you got the whole thing? Yeah, my comment was death speech, woof.
Okay, so you ready? I'm going to get this as loud as I can.
Dying for you gives my life meaning.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's see if it works.
There will be a lot more.
Nonsense. We were born dead. Life means nothing. We live with death every single day. Death walks with us. Death rides and sleeps with us. We carry its smell under our skin.
What?
Uncle Blameless.
Sorry. There's a little noise there because I started laughing while I was recording it, even though I rewound it like 3 times.
Oh my God.
And then there's one more.
It's so bad.
I love it.
At least dying.
Here we go.
Say, at least dying for you would give my life a meaning.
Oh my God. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh.
I honestly, I'm laughing throughout all of it, and so I can't get angry.
I don't know, man.
It's
the
so
whole
bad
time
it's
I'm
good.
like, oh Christ.
Now having
it's it's like The Room kind of stuff going on here.
It's exactly where my head's at.
Yeah.
So having said all that, even though I was having so much fun with it, I could only give Hero a 1.5. And I only gave it a half point because of the laughing.
I gave it a 1. He is he's trying to think his way through it. Does not do a great job, and straight up loses in the end too.
Well, he has a little revenge.
I guess. I just found it egregiously bad. None of his fights were good. Obviously, he's a ridiculous person.
Yes. We're not.
I don't know.
Okay, I gave it a 1.5, buddy. This isn't.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know where we land.
We land on our own. We'll discuss the end where the final score is.
All right.
We don't have to argue each individual score for now.
You're right. I'm at a 1. Okay, so let's go to villain.
Here's my big category.
Yeah. So we have a few. We have the Manhattan Corporation, which is okay. All right.
Let's get to the good one.
We also have the zombies and the scavengers.
Stop delaying to the good guy.
Okay, fine. Then there is Hammer.
Hammer is God!
Don't forget Hot Dog.
Can't forget Hot Dog.
Because the guy's name is freaking Hot Dog. And at first, I thought they were mocking him. And it's just kind of like a saying of calling someone a hot dog. And then, nope. No, his real name really is Hot Dog, and Hammer will call him Hot Dog multiple times, and it's terrible every time.
Oh,
when you hear it out loud.
I love Hammer.
Well, sure. I bet you the only reason why you love Hammer, at least the only part where I was like, I started to watch this one part towards the end, and I think my eyes just started bugging out. And my jaw just dropped just because it is probably one of the most chewing the scenery moments you'll ever see. And it's just maniacal laughing.
Yeah.
That is so insane.
Yeah, no, he's basically like a proto-Joker in this movie who just lives for the chaos.
Yes, because he's very offended being accused of basically working for the Manhattan Corporation. He's like, I really don't care what they want. I'm just here to basically, watch the world burn.
And he's played by Vic Morrow, who actually was from the Bronx, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't ever hear his voice in this movie.
Yeah, because he dies before they can do the thing, right?
Yeah, for the dubbing. He finished filming, but tragically, John Landis's negligence on Twilight Zone, the movie, caused him to die.
Yeah, in not a great way.
No, a helicopter decapitated him. It's really fucking sad.
Yeah,
and 2 kids.
Pretty messed up. That's not great.
No, really isn't. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he's great. Well, for what it is, I had so much fun with his character.
Yeah. For what it is. It's so insane.
I would have loved to have heard Vic do the actual dubbing himself.
Yeah. Although, I don't know if that maniacal laughing would have...
I don't know. I would have liked to have known.
Voice. Who knows? Yeah, he gets more fun as the movie goes.
The movie barely describes who he is at first. You're just like, what is this? What's going on?
We have to send in the Hammer. Are you sure we should do that? Like, he's kind of, crazy or unhinged or whatever. Like, he's a liability or something, right?
Yeah,
and it's like, no, we can't because we can't send the police in because we don't need to be tied to this or whatever, which is like, the whole thing there makes no sense at all.
Zero. But I ignored it after a while because I was just having fun watching The Hammer.
I guess. They end up sending the police in anyway, even though they said we can't send anybody in. That's exactly what they do.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure on that. Is Hammer part of the police or what? I mean, it's... Anyway.
I don't think he's part of the police.
He's wearing a full police uniform. At the end. Yeah, he's leading them and telling them what to do.
And then even before that, like in the middle of the movie, they send in a police truck. So, I don't know. I'm seeing police coming in here all the time, it looks like.
Yeah, it's not like Escape from New York where it's cut off from the rest of the... It's you can come and go as you want. Just no one's really patrolling it or anything like that. And if any cops do come there, they get hassled.
Yeah, which they do show like the police car or truck coming in there, and like you're thinking like they're setting you up like, oh, some stuff is gonna go down here, and oh no, they just spray paint it and that's it, and we cut away and it's like completely different. They're hanging out and relaxing. It's like, oh, okay, we just abruptly went away from that.
Action is so slim in this, I put that in action.
Oh, okay. Wow. Oh boy.
Yep. Anyway, so back to the good stuff. His
Wait,
plan.
hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. What is the point of her? She's supposed to be.
Well, you want to get into her later because she's
I
technically
guess,
a
but
side
it's kind
character.
of tied to the plot of the. All right, fine.
No, you don't need to know. You know, all he wants to do is get her. So that's what we're talking about.
So you don't want to talk about the Manhattan Corporation. You just want Hammer and Hot Dog.
We'll talk about the other gangs too. But yeah,
What a show that would be.
Hammer and the Hot Dog.
Hammer and Hot Dog.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, you would.
So his brilliant plan is to start a gang war.
Yeah.
Have the gangs kill each other and then get her.
Yeah. Although he seems to doing, like, when he first goes in, he's pretty good at messing with them, killing two of them, runs away, they can't find him.
It's so weird because he's, while not dressed like a cop, he's dressed like an undercover cop or an off-duty cop when he's going into the Bronx.
He's dressed as a mailman.
Well, he's wearing the mirrored aviators. I'm sorry, you're wearing mirrored aviators.
No,
you look like a cop.
He's dressed as a mailman. It was a package, and he had the shotgun hidden in the tube package.
But
so he was disguised as a mailman.
Lawless land of the Bronx has mailmen?
You're not going to have me justify this garbage movie. You're the one defending it.
This is what was driving me nuts. I'm like, why is he disguising his gun when he's going into the Bronx? There's no cops. Nobody cares.
Well, I guess he doesn't want people to see him coming because he's supposed to get into their little
You don't
hideout.
think they'd be like, hey, what the hell's a mailman doing here? This doesn't make any
That's a really
sense.
good point. Again, I'm not going to try to defend this trash. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean that.
Oh. So he sneaks into, the first order of business sneaks into the writer's headquarters. And he catches up with this couple screwing at the top of some...
I don't know if they're screwing. They're just
They're making out.
But
But she's moaning in a way where she's having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're at the top of these like cement stairs. I'm like, man, that's the most uncomfortable place to fool around ever.
Yep.
That is not fun.
There's a bed with a Confederate flag blanket that you could be
that
canoodling in.
Would have been more comfortable, I guess. But certainly better than a cement stairs.
That's for sure.
Anyway, he blows them away with a couple of shotgun blasts, which is a pretty nice squib effect.
Yeah. It was better than oh man, what was that the James Bond ripoff one we saw? The Soldier, yeah. There were some bad squib effects in that one. But yeah. It was better, you're right.
Yeah. And then he sneaks away out of the headquarters while everyone's searching for him, and his escape vehicle is a semi-truck driven by Hot Dog.
Which he like pops out of to go up on some bridge or something because they end up pulling Hot Dog over, and they're very mean to Hot Dog right away.
I just don't understand how the plan is to use a semi truck, which is not exactly stealth or fast.
No, yeah, not conspicuous at all. Did you notice? Did you notice the incredible amount of profanity in this movie?
No.
Really?
No, I didn't.
There is lots of it.
Oh. I've watched Deadwood multiple times, so I'm numb to it all now.
I have some of it written down, but like fag face, turd balls, piss head. It is constant throughout the whole movie.
I hear piss head and it just rolls off me like, what if a duck's back?
Well, I mean, there's also, F-bombs and all that. I was trying to keep it more, PG version there. But it's throughout the movie, the amount of profanity. And I guess maybe I pick up on it more with the whole, having to watch the profanity more, kind of, kids and teaching all that kind of stuff. But at one point, Declan's like sneaking down my son because he's like, Dad, come play. Stop watching this stupid movie. And I was like, wish I could. And then I'm like noticing like, he's like hiding and he's like, is it scary? I'm like, no, it's not scary. But then I'm hearing like it's just constant cursing going on, especially between Ice and Hot Dog. And I'm like, oh no, this is all right. I gotta pause. And Declan, you need to go away now.
I think it's great that your son is interested in Italian cinema.
Oh
God. Anyway, speaking of profanity, we do get a cutaway to the Manhattan Corporation. I think there's maybe two cutaways to these people, which is just guys in suits. And I think one of them is even played by the director of the movie.
I think you're right, yeah.
And he's just an asshole who thinks he's God. Hammer's boss describing Hammer.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. Yeah.
it. And then I love this scene at the Hammer and Hot Dog in the truck, and Hot Dog's like, "You're playing with fire," and Hammer responds,
Oh yeah.
"I know it, and I love it. I love it."
Yes, it is a delivery for sure, and I think too when he's again blamed for, how could you work for the Manhattan Corporation? I think he's got some kind of a line saying, "I believe in nothing. I'm the exterminator."
Yeah.
Is this line? It's
Yeah.
like, oh man.
He's just there. He's here to make a legend, to kill all the gangs and be Hammer from the
Yeah.
Bronx.
I guess so, yeah. And then, his plan's not quite working out, I guess, because Trash is going to go meet up with Ogre. And so then he's got to follow him and kill another guy to try to pin it on
Trash.
Pin it again on Trash again.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work again. So then I guess is why he's got to send in the entire fleet of flamethrowers.
Well, you're really spoiling stuff, but all right. There's more stuff to discuss.
We'll talk specifically about that later, but I mean, it's just crazy. Anyway.
Yeah. I love later on, the other part of the plan is for Hammer and Hot Dog to turn Ice, Trash's second command, against him. Mm-hmm. And because Ice is not happy with all the attention Trash has been giving Anne, the girl in question. And they give him a Luger, which is really funny, like because he's wearing the Nazi jacket. And then I appreciate the movie actually mentioning it here. It's special for you since you're wearing the uniform already. It's like, oh, cool. So we know who the Nazis are in this movie. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not like we've forgotten.
There's a great bit with the scavenger sneaking up behind Hammer while he's on his walkie-talkie talking to Hot Dog.
Oh, yeah. See, I have that in action, but okay.
Anyways, then when he's done, he whips out his gun and blows the whole gang away. Punks. No one alive can trick Hammer from the Bronx.
Well, as much as he's fun.
No, I got one more. I got a couple more things about Hammer.
Okay, fair enough. You keep going on your boy Hammer.
Yeah. So like I said, Hammer leads a squad of cops to attack Ogre's headquarters, and for some reason, all the cops are on horseback with flamethrowers.
You got mad at me for bringing it up. Now you're bringing it up. But yeah.
I haven't gotten to it yet. We're just getting more stuff. And all the horsies have face shields.
I didn't notice the face shields, to be honest.
I don't know why they had the shields. Like, what?
Yeah, that's weird.
And there's lots of shots in the scene with like Hammer in full cop uniform watching the raid at Ogre's from like a level above everyone. And he's laughing like a lunatic, enjoying the mayhem. And that's where he screams out the line that I've said multiple times, Hammer is God, Hammer. And after he says that iconic line, he is promptly killed with a grappling hook to the chest.
Yeah, it's a way to go.
Yeah. But yeah, all the cops in this movie are dressed like the cops from Batman in 1989. It's like head to toe leather. Even the hats are leather, but except they have like black turtlenecks.
See, I was thinking, I thought the only thing that looks somewhat futuristic is the way the police are dressed. And that's like, because it's kind of like a shiny leather look going on.
Well, that and flamethrower cops.
And that they have flamethrowers. And that is their main weapon of choice for the police is flamethrowers.
Yeah.
And I guess, again, we'll try to talk about that more in action. But, whoo boy.
Yeah.
There's other villains, though.
Yes, let's go to the first gang, the zombies.
Okay. The zombies have the most ridiculous look.
It's they're street hockey hooligans who wear this fake material shoulder pads.
I think hockey is too nice because do they even have sticks?
Yeah, they have sticks. That's what they're hitting people with.
Oh, I thought they just had rollerblades. Okay.
No, they got sticks.
Okay.
Anyway, so the fake material shoulder pads look sort of like mid-70s Colossus costume from X-Men or the Green Ranger in Power Rangers.
That's what I was gonna go with. Yep, that's what I was gonna go with. Yep. I thought weird Power Ranger reject thing going on.
And later, but it's all white. And then later we see they have a dojo headquarters with tires hanging from the ceiling, a tiny fighting mat, and wooden dummies for them to target practice. And
did you notice how they have the nicest digs out of all of the?
By far, it was a very.
They must
fancy
have the
dojo.
most money or something.
Well, I think
don't
Ogre
know.
probably has the most money.
But
He lives in a
Ogre's but his mansion is like dilapidated. There's a hole in the ceiling. Like these guys building, the zombies building looks nice. Like it looks nice inside. It's not dilapidated looking at all.
Anyway, the leader of the zombies has like sort of like a reverse version of their uniform.
Yeah.
It's also in the puffy, but it's like a puffy Nightcrawler costume.
Yeah. It's kind of more black and red. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost exactly like Nightcrawler's costume. What is going on?
He looked like a big guy.
Yep.
Um,
But they're not my favorite gang, Tim.
is it the Scavengers that is your favorite gang? No,
They sucked.
they sucked. But yeah, well, I mean, they made some weird noises
All right, we'll get into the
whenever
Scavengers.
they were about.
They're barely human with white mud painted faces, and they wear rags and they grunt like monkeys.
Yeah, it's super weird. They jump from all sorts of places. They love to basically impale people with those large stick pike things.
Yeah.
I guess they're supposed to be kind of creepy or scary, but they're not. But
No, they're not. Like Morlocks or something from Time Machine.
yeah.
My favorite gang is the Synchronized Tap Dancing Gang.
Well, I didn't really classify them as a villain because they're like, hey, yeah, you can go on through. It's all good. But yeah, that is pretty nuts. Again. And it
Synchronized Tap Dancing Gang, Tim.
Ooh, there was a fight there too that we'll talk about. That was not good. But
Spectacular. It's actually probably the best fighting in the movie.
Nah.
Yes.
I disagree.
They think the dancers fight better than anyone else. It actually looks like actual fighting. I mean, they mostly just beat down that one guy, but dancers are very good at fighting. They do very well in film. That's why Jackie Dancer studied dancing before he studied fighting.
Well, I guess with the footwork and such, I just
Yeah.
thought the moves looked just like dance moves.
Well, they are very much rehearsal culture. The tap dancing
I
gang.
guess so. Yeah, I just immediately started thinking of the SNL skit with Beyonce and just like, we're the dancers. That's what was popping in my head as I'm watching that part.
I wish I could give you the name of the gang because they might be the Jackals or the Sharks. IMDb says Iron Man gang, but that doesn't seem to make sense.
I think it might be the Iron Man gang because aren't they mostly in silver and such?
The guys are, but then the leader lady is all in gold. So I wasn't sure what to make of it. But yeah, they're all dressed like they're from Cabaret or Columbia.
They got the hats and everything.
Or like Columbia from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right.
But it's spectacular. I wish the movie could have spent like a half an hour with them. By far my favorite
pretty
thing.
Quick.
And it was as they're fighting, they make little tap dancing noises. It's so fun.
It's like, yeah, this is what I'm trying to do. Okay, I'll let you pass. Okay, then.
Well,
this was just purely to get another gang in here. This is useless.
Well, this is like I think the second one. No, maybe the second one with lines in the movie. So of course she's also attracted to trash.
Of course,
yeah.
Everybody's attracted to trash.
Except for Witch. She's a good loyal girl.
I like me Witch. I do like the Witch.
Yeah. Anyway, later on we find Ice finds out he's been double crossed by Hammer and Hot Dog when he tries to shoot Hot Dog with the Luger.
Yeah.
And the gun is filled with blanks.
Yep.
And he's like, haha, you can't get me. But surprise, Ice is wearing the Rosa Klebb knife shoes from Russia with Love and kills Hot Dog with a very tiny knife into his stomach.
Yep.
It's like, that would hurt.
Poor Hot Dog.
I don't think he's dead. But yeah, that's it. That's all the notes I have for Villain. And you're going to get angry at me. And I don't care, but I gave Villain a 4.
Oh my God.
They're so much fun. It's so ridiculous and fun.
Oh my God. And terrible and bad. And I gave it a 1.
You're terrible.
I gave it a 1, man. There's...
Get a sense of humor.
Oh, no. Like, yeah, Hammer and his insanity was fun, sure, as it went, but that was it. I mean, that's just not enough. I mean, none of any of it made any lick of sense. I guess he got to shoot like 3 or 4 people, and all his plans did not exactly work out. And you just get the maniacal laugh, which is fun. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't think that's enough. 4 seems rather insane.
I have 4. I think we're going to have separate scores for this movie, Tim.
Oh my god, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Don't
for our
worry,
ranking.
this movie will not end up in my top 5, but
We're gonna. I guess we'll have to come back because there's no way. I'm
no.
gonna go
I think it'll be
anywhere.
funny that you will have your score for this movie and I'll have mine, and that'll be it. We'll
Oh,
only do it for
God,
this movie
no.
because we're so opposed.
Oh no, this is a terrible idea.
I think we'll have the same score for this next category.
action. Oof.
Yep. It's not good.
It's pretty bad. I mean, I guess I've seen worse.
Yeah, I guess there's Sorceress, but
Yeah, Sorceress is really bad. Yeah, and again, I really didn't enjoy Beastmaster's action very much.
this is a lot in common with Beastmaster's action because it's all very slow and lame.
Very, very slow.
The
and
first
lame.
action piece is a rumble between the writers and the zombies, and the zombies all make this north-south slashing motions with their hockey sticks at the riders, and the riders just easily block it with their metal batons and then smack them in the face. And that's the fight over and over again for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple times
Literally the
guy,
same move over and over again.
Yeah, a guy gets cut in the knife by the tires on one of the characters' bikes.
Yeah, well, I was going to get to that. There's
so some cool blood and
two of the
kind
zombies
gore
try
there.
to get away, but one of the riders has 2 switchblades that pop out of the sides of his bike, and
Which is pretty nuts.
when he runs down the zombies, it makes a hilarious thud noise. Like that's the sound of knives hitting people. Thud. What? But then it redeems itself a second later by him turning around and running down the guys again. There's a nice gore cut slash around the guy's face. And I was like, oh, that was fun. Yeah.
That was fun, yeah. And I liked the shotgun blast of the 2 on the stairs. Like, that was some good squib stuff there. Like, it looked good.
Yeah, I guess.
And then, yeah.
The next thing I have is Trash, Ogre, and Witch versus the Scavengers.
Yeah, I think most of the stuff... Well, first off, Witch and her whip and stuff, I'm all down. I liked Witch and her whip. I thought that was cool.
Don't forget her little Wolverine claws.
Yeah, yes. I think she used them like once, but yeah. But most of their action was with the whip, and I was so I enjoyed all that. And I thought Fred Williamson's fight was okay with the zombies leader. That it could have been worse. I thought that was all right. I think Fred Williamson can hold his own with
Well, he's a big physical guy. I appreciated that his cane that he's holding turns out to be a sword, and he gets to cut a guy's head off.
Chops a guy's head off.
That was cool.
Yeah.
You know what's really disappointing is how pathetic the final fight at the zombies headquarters is when Trash, Ogre, and Witch they all take them out so easily. It's like, oh, you guys are also nothing to us. It's like there's 3 of them versus 20.
Well, why? Okay, so he has to form an alliance with Ogre to do this, but it ends up just being Ogre and Witch. It's like, wait, why couldn't he just bring his own gang? He would have had more numbers.
Yeah, no.
What was the point of this?
It just clearly didn't need him, I guess. It's really weird.
Ogre's like, me and Witch are that great that you just need 2 of us. You don't need our entire gang. And it's like, what?
Proof's in the pudding, Tim. They took them all out.
I guess, but you're like, Witch I thought was cool. Ogre I was okay with, and then of course, Trash is trash. The entire fight, it looks awful.
Well, I appreciated that after they take out this gang in a really unremarkable way. I don't even remember. Ogre takes out the head of the zombies by smashing his face through a window and then stabbing him with his own knife in the back.
Yeah.
I don't think we really get to see a lot of Witch fighting, and then Trash takes out Ice in a way that I can't even remember how it happened. It was so boring.
I think there's some quick cuts. Yeah, most of Witch's stuff is mostly with the Scavengers.
Yeah, but then they go back to Ogre's headquarters and they listen to Anne play the piano.
Yeah, that was random. By the way, the fight between Ice and Trash was terrible. Although I enjoyed the way he fell onto the spike.
That's right. Okay, I was like, I literally couldn't remember. It was so boring, Tim.
Yeah, it was terrible. I just like the end result of the look of him falling on the spike and the blood
gang
gore
spike.
again
Yeah.
was good. I like that, but the fight was awful. But yeah, then you're cutting and Anna's playing the piano and you're what? And then there's I got a surprise for you. I'm like, oh no, is there a double cross? Nope, we got you birthday cake. Like what?
I have that written in my Fred Williamson section later on. So
okay, yeah, it's super weird. And then that's when the police raid and the flamethrowers, and there's a lot of smash cuts to guy on horse blowing flamethrower, and then like a close up look of somebody going ah, and
it's never a close up. It's usually from the back. So like they seemed like
the
flame is coming at them, but they're probably like 50 feet away, and then they fall off camera.
Right.
So it's like there's a lot of that shot.
A lot of that shot.
And a poor witch gets shot in the back, and then also...
I was sad.
Yeah, I was sad too. She takes out a few guys, but And Fred Williamson also gets shot in the back. Fred Williamson dying, while also very, very sad, is also hilarious and awesome because after he gets shot in the back like 3 or 4 times, he crawls to his crown, his throne, puts his cigar in his mouth, and burns.
Yeah. He just sits there to burn alive.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it is super weird.
Then Anne gets gunned down.
Well, she tries to save Trash.
By jumping in front of bullets for Trash.
Which you think like the whole point is to get her out alive, and no care there. So the whole plan is ruined. I don't know what the Mayhem Corporation does next. 'Cause apparently, I don't know. It dissolves if she's not around or something. I don't. It's
not exactly clear as to who the next.
Yeah.
But
what?
Yeah, and then somehow, I don't know. Somehow Trash finds a grappling hook, a giant grappling hook gun, shoots Hammer in the chest with it, and then Hammer has a kind of impressive fall. It was like maybe 15 feet.
I guess so.
But you don't see him land. Of course, it's clearly he's falling.
It cuts away.
Yeah.
I think he falls outside, doesn't he?
And then no, he falls down, but there's like stuff in front of the camera.
That what it was? Okay.
Yeah. There's like some rubble there, but there's clearly behind is like some air mattress.
Yeah.
And then Trash hooks him up to his motorcycle, which I don't know how that got there because they walked there.
Which didn't make any sense.
None.
On like, apparently Tiger Gang can go clearly from one part of the Bronx to the other Bronx in cars. But for some odd reason, we can't do the same thing on our motorcycles.
Well, I think he was trying to be sneaky. I'm like, okay, I get it. But then how'd your motorcycle get here later? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he drags Hammer's body out of the headquarters and end of movie. That's it.
Yeah, that's how the movie ends. Everything's on fire, and he just drags his dead body. We're like, what? Why?
So that's when
I took Hammer down. I don't know.
I gave it 1. It's not good.
Interesting. This is where I gave it a 2.
Wow. All right. Good for you.
Yeah, I gave it a 2 just because I was like I liked some of the gore and some of those kind of effects, and the falling on pikes or guy getting slashed in the face. Some of that stuff I thought was fun. I liked the whip. So I don't know. There was some stuff I appreciated, although there was a whole lot of awful. So that's why I was like, all right, I'll throw you a point. Although I could easily bring that down to 1.5 if I had to. So
live your truth.
And
okay, mentor sidekick.
Oh God, yeah.
So Anne is about to turn 18. The actress is 27 years old. Literally 10 years older than Trash in real life. And she's going to inherit the controlling interest in the Manhattan Corporation, which controls 60% of the world's arms production.
Is that what it was? I could not catch that. I had to rewind like several times.
Because I had Amazon Prime, I had subtitles. She doesn't want any part of it, so she hides in the Bronx. The zombies attack her, and she gets turned on watching Trash fight the zombies in slow motion, which made me laugh.
Yeah. That was something, because that was another comment I was making, like, what is going on?
And then the next scene we see, it's like, I don't know how much time has actually passed, but Anne has got her own motorcycle.
Yeah,
she's just part of the gang now. I was like, what?
They trust her to go off on her own. She's just part of the gang, I guess. It was really weird. Like they were not clear on what she was running away from and what the Manhattan Corporation wanted her for a while.
Yeah, no,
So
it takes a while to get to that scene on the beach.
Yeah.
My favorite line from her: "I feel safe with you, trash." I'm sorry, that's just an objectively funny thing for a person to say out loud.
Yeah. It sounds like something from like, what was it? Why can't I think of it now? Toy Story 4, right? With this Forky.
I love Forky.
Yeah, right. And yeah. Anyway,
I love trash.
I love trash. Yeah. Her dubbing might be the worst out of everybody in the movie. It's some pretty bad stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Our guy Fred Williamson, as we mentioned, is back,
Yeah.
and he's playing the ogre, the king of the Bronx. And I think those are just his personal cigars, because they look exactly the same as the ones he's smoking in One Down, Two to Go.
I think so. Yep.
And God bless him.
Same.
Once again, Fred Williamson only buttoning the last 2 buttons on his shirt.
You got to show that chest off, man. You just have to.
But his whole outfit is fantastic. He's got leather pants this time,
Yeah.
swashbuckler's boots, and a big gold belt buckle.
Yeah, he's fun.
And his pimp cane.
And his cane. Yeah, he takes out most people with his cane, pulls it out as a sword like once. But yeah, I dug some of his fighting at least, and I guess it's just the dubbing really detracts for how good that performance could have been.
I think if you watched it on Amazon, you would have had a much easier time with it. His comes out the best out of everybody.
Really?
Not surprising.
I don't know. Yeah.
Which
I was really confused. Did Ogre know Hammer?
Yes.
Okay. Because they didn't exactly make it clear exactly. Like, how do they all just know kind of who Hammer is because he's from the Bronx, I guess?
I guess, yeah. He doesn't explain how he knows him, but when Ogre... there's a point where, like, Hammer tricks Trash into a trap or whatever, frames him for a murder, and that sets off some alarm in Ogre's place, which sounds like a submarine ping at first.
Yeah.
And they capture Trash and bring Trash to Ogre, and Trash tells him the whole story, and Ogre's like, yeah, okay, I believe you. I know who Hammer is. Sounds like something you'd be out to. I'm like, oh, that's refreshing. That never happens in a movie.
Everybody's
no proof.
Really quick to go along with Trash here. I mean, the Iron Gang or whatever, and then the Tigers, they're like, okay, yeah, sure.
Can we talk about the Tigers for a quick second? Are they supposed to be like pimps or something?
That's how most of them are dressed.
Like they all have canes and giant hats.
And some of their cars are, kind of, gaudy and a little flashy and such, and interesting looking.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned before, we love Ogre's right-hand woman, Witch.
Yes, I'm a fan.
She
dressed,
can
hold her own.
Yeah, she's dressed like a dominatrix with a cape.
Yes.
And a whip. And, she doesn't really say much. She does have one line.
Yeah.
After they have the fight with the scavengers, you've been using your whip again? Yeah, just like you taught me.
Yeah.
Which just makes Fred Williamson that much cooler.
I guess I would have liked to see Fred Williamson actually use the whip or something, get revenge after his lady is killed or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But that point later you mentioned before, the movie makes you believe Ogre is absolutely about to double cross Trash when he finds out who Anne is.
Yeah.
He's like, I got a big surprise for you. Yeah.
The movie really implies
the size of this birthday cake is unbelievable.
It's amazing how soon did they know about Anne and how quickly they put that cake together.
It is the size of a playground seesaw.
It's like kind of 3D
shaped,
too,
it's shaped
isn't
like Manhattan. It's incredible. So
Ogre, they're having a lovely time. Before,
Ogre's a big softie, and I love him.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I have to say for this category. Do you have anything else?
Not really. I mean, I guess I had a couple of comments about Ice, but I think we kind of mostly talked about him already. But yeah, I guess there's the I don't know what his name was. The guy that found out about ice.
I didn't catch his name either. If I rewinded, I probably could have found out.
But I guess Trash liked him the most.
Yeah, and he knew Ice was up to something because of all his crying, so he had him spy on Ice for him.
Yeah, so I guess he was good for that.
But anyway, I gave Mentor Sidekick a 2.5.
I gave it a 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I gave it a 2, mostly for Fred Williamson and Witch.
That's exactly just for that, for me.
Yeah.
So my final score for this movie is a 9.
Holy crap, that's way too high.
I had a lot of fun with it. Like it's so bad it's good. Like I'm just laughing at it most of the time.
I feel like there's so many of these movies that I like more, and that seems crazy. Beastmaster obviously better. Swamp Thing I think is better. I think One Down, Two to Go is better. And so anyway, I had it at a 6.
Okay. I think we should do separate scores for this one.
But then how does that work on my list?
It doesn't. You can just put them both on the list. It won't matter. Simply for the fact that neither of us is going to be the top 5. So in the end, we don't need to worry about it.
I guess. All right. So since you rated it at a 9,
tell you what, we'll discuss this off air for this part. But
well, I'm just if we're gonna do this, all right. I'm just curious. We can have it recorded, whatever. I can always edit it out if I want. I'm curious. Where would you put it out of your 9s then?
I tell you what, how about this? So
is it above Beastmaster? Is it below Swamp Thing? Where are we at?
How about this? What do you think of that?
You have it tied with Swamp Thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you can put yours above or below Sword and the Sorcerer and Forced Vengeance.
I feel like...
And this way the numbers don't get messed up, and we can easily track which one's the number of this episode.
So, I guess, what am I supposed to do the same thing, or?
No, you can just put yours as the official one. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
So where did you feel about it as far as Sword and the Sorcerer and Forced Vengeance? Above Sword and the Sorcerer. Okay.
Yeah.
I still feel like we did that movie a disservice.
I think you were too nice.
Let's see. The only other... Yeah, I don't have a budget for this movie, and I couldn't find out how much it made. So, not a lot. But it made a couple sequels, so I guess it was huge in Italy, and they kept on making it. So,
yeah, how many sequels were there?
2, I think. No, maybe just the one, and the director made 3 movies. But yeah, at least 1 sequel. Escape from the Bronx.
Yeah. And that's the one they did like a Mystery Science Center or whatever. Mystery Theater. Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, it's very possible that my, my thing was just such a bad cut that it just hurt my enjoyment too much.
Probably.
But
nothing to get up in arms about, considering, like I said, not going to be in our top 5.
Yeah, it won't.
So next week,
you got it close, but yeah. Next week,
I'm feeling a little bad because I had a plan, and now I'm finding out how you felt about this movie, and I'm worried about it. Like I might break you.
Uh-oh, you're gonna do like Mega Force, aren't you?
I saw the trailer for it today.
Oh God.
And I laughed out loud really hard. And I'm kind of...
I mean, maybe, as we've said before, I mean, maybe not on this podcast, but I think we've both intimated this before, that sometimes having the right attitude going into a movie or the wrong attitude can help or hurt your enjoyment of the movie.
Absolutely. If you go in this is like, okay, let's just have fun with it. We know this is going to be stupid trash. Yeah. You can enjoy it a lot more.
And I guess maybe I was not as prepared, maybe, and the quality being bad too could be a big reason why I docked Bronx Warriors so low. Although I still think it's trash. No pun intended. So anyway, so maybe if you do pick Megaforce, that'll help me.
Megaforce it is!
All right, there it is.
Now, what really was getting me is I was looking at, we only have 7 movies left. So I kind of wanted the last 6 to be better. So I'd rather want to take out one of the worst we know going in, one of the worst ones.
Yeah, we know Megaforce is bad.
Yeah, I know Megaforce is going to be bad. And I'm pretty sure Battle Truck is not going to be great either. So
yeah.
I wanted to take out one of them so we can have mostly more good ones at the end. Although I watched the trailer for Firefox today, and you are not going to be happy.
Well, why would I? It's Clint Eastwood. I hate Clint
It's
Eastwood.
worse than you think.
What does that mean?
I think there's some early CGI thing going on in there for the planes.
Oh, no.
It looks real rough.
Ugh. Clint Eastwood and rough CGI looking stuff. That's, yeah. Oh, boy.
But Megaforce!
Megaforce!
Here's what's interesting about Megaforce. So Hal Needham directed it. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No.
He was Burt Reynolds' stunt guy for many years, and then turned into his go-to director. He was the guy who made Smokey and the Bandit, Cannonball Run, Stroker Race.
It's got some legitimate,
background
with him or discography.
Being a stunt guy too, he knows what looks good on. What could look good. He tries really well for the stunts. So
yeah.
I think even if the movie is ridiculous and over the top and stupid, I bet you we'll have some nice stunts in this.
Okay. Fair enough. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think good action can help a movie overall, like overcome some other shortcomings, If you don't have good action and your hero is terrible and your sidekicks are terrible, then it's like, oh, where is there to go here on, where I feel like you could have maybe a bad villain or bad sidekicks if your action's pretty good. Like good action can forgive some stuff. But if you're already bad in the action category, it's kind of hard to overcome an enjoyment factor.
At least for this season, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially with 1990, the Bronx Warriors. Just put it out there.
You bastard. Hammer is God!
Oh, God. All right. So we are doing Megaforce, and that is going to have to be a rental on Prime, everybody. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That is it for us. Please show your support for the podcast by leaving a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, or wherever you happen to listen to the show. Also, sharing is caring. Be sure to follow us on social media to get the latest show updates. You can contact us by emailing at filmbrochamp@gmail.com or find us by searching for the hashtag FilmBroChamp. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Film Bros Championship Podcast. Peace out, everyone. Oh my